has to go in the realization of this chance. We received goal after first chance of Sundowns, but we come back. We show that we can play nice football, that we come back after negative result.
Coach, that first half, what changed in the dressing room when you were talking to the players? Because you were in control, had a couple of chances, but the second half was a little bit different, even though you got a goal at the end.
But normally we play very nice, very good first half. Normally we have a lot of players in our team who had injury in the last period. Normally that they can play 90 minutes in same rhythm. We're going down, but after on the end of the match we come back and we improving the rhythm of the game and we scored this goal, which is very important for us.
Tell me about the second leg. I'm sure your mind is racing, thinking of the tactical switches that you could make to gain an advantage to win this competition.
It will be a very difficult match. Very difficult match. You know that Sundowns playing outside very good. They will not change style how they playing the football, but we have energy, we have knowledge, and we have made all that we taking this pokal.
Do you think you can match this crowd in terms of what you would have in the 30 June stadium in terms of the environment, the environment that they made it feel like you were the away team here?
I thought, and now I want to say something. Please, all the people in Egypt who like the football, Pyramids playing nice football. We are a very good team. Please come in on our stadium, support Pyramids, support Egypt, support Egyptian football.
We'll see you in Egypt, in Cairo, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll have Coach Miguel Cardoso.
To be a celebration, it was poised to be something spectacular for Mamelodi Sundowns here at home, but instead it's Al Kahti scoring Pyramids' very first goal on South African soil. It ends 1-1 in the first leg of the CAF Confederation, the CAF Champions League, the Total Energies Champions League. And it's Mamelodi Sundowns that seem the more distracted towards the end. It's Mamelodi Sundowns that are dejected at the end of that. It's Mamelodi Sundowns that will take this to Cairo. This time around, though, they'll be on the back foot. 1-1 is how it's ended. Hlombo Kekana sitting with me in studio. He celebrated when the goal came in. He was a little bit down when the second one comes in. There's still another 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah. This is the first half of this two-leg match. I can easily say I was comfortable with the way the boys showed up today. Bravery in how they approached this match. They managed to use the ball properly. You know, speed of the passes were spot on. The speed ball rotation, you can tell that they're finding each other. The confidence of the midfielders in Marcelo and Tebogo Mokoena, as well as when they brought on Adams. I thought it was a well-balanced match when we started having a ball control, especially in the midfield, because in the first 15 minutes we looked shaky because we allowed Mayele to threaten our last line. But kudos to both two teams. They showed us and they gave us what we produce in South African or even in Africa.
This is Champions League football, dude. This is Champions League football.
Yeah.
That's what we paired with Fundilu Ayazi. Last minute, 89th minute, Abigul Kasi, the 30-year-old from Morocco, scoring his second goal only in the Champions League at Tika. The whole team celebrates. They feel like they've got an advantage going home.
I think this is the results they wanted, because if Kumbula has said the last minutes of the game, which is a critical phase, this is when you're going to see the changes Pyramids is going to make. And they did that. And then what happened? They scored.
But then tell me the difference in the first half.
Okay.
Because they didn't have the position.
No.
The Sundowns had the majority of the position, but
of course
they had the majority of the game. They looked more threatening in the first. What happened in the second half?
What they did first half, they were quick going forward with 2-3 numbers of players touching the ball. So with Sundowns, it requires 6-7 touches. Now, second half, what they did was not to allow Sundowns to build from the back, as usual. And they neutralized a certain number of players that they thought would be a danger to them. Now, Sundowns needed a player that could dictate the tempo of the match and the positional play, because they're leading.
Yeah.
So giving possession away is dangerous. So keeping it is defending.
Yep.
So they're defending in terms of their leading. Pyramid is chasing the game. But who is in the middle in order for them to be able to do that? Now you need a Tembazwane that will be able to, have that tiki-taka combinational play. Now, having said that, it was not a dead ball situation. Now let's look at where the mistake started, or where
Is this in concession of the goal?
the goal.
Don't
allow the goal.
Because I want to play it as you speak about it.
Okay.
I'm sure. But firstly, I want to hear from the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns, Miguel Cardoso, speaking to Mazola Molefe on how he feels. We saw the opposite side there. You're just very happy with this 1-1. Very excited. He was even almost high-fiving and hugging Mazola there. Let's see the demeanor of the Mamelodi Sundowns coach.
Coach Cardoso, obviously not the result that you would have wanted. It changed towards the end there. I don't know if you've had a look at it. Was it a lapse of concentration? You thought you probably had it going into the second leg?
Yeah, I don't have a clear idea about what happened in the goal. What I understood clear is that the last 10 minutes we didn't leave the best emotions inside the pitch. It was important to continue to play the game with the ball as much as possible and not just drop. Anyway, I think it was the only clear opportunity in the second half. They have more clear chances in the first. Obviously, it changed a little bit the situation, but there's 90 minutes to play. We can score also there and put the things in a different way. That's what we have, 90 minutes to play, and we have quality and capacity to win outside.
Can I ask about that early change? Tashi comes off and Jaden Adams comes on. It seemed like you got what you were looking for. It's unfortunate that you conceded at the end.
Yeah, it's true. I think the change was clear that we needed to change something. Well, not the middle was too empty. They came very aggressive in the middle, pressing us very high. They changed also the midfield that usually plays on their team, so we had to bring something more in that middle to feel it a little bit more. First attitude from us was drop Lucas and drop Sales in the middle, but it was not enough. Then we had to bring one more player in order to have capacity to control the game. I think it was clear that it worked, but unfortunately, well, this goal changed a little bit of things. Let's keep strong and go for the second match.
And finally, coach, uphill battle now in Cairo too. Almost a little bit different to going to Al Ahly, where it was still 0-0, but this time here, obviously needing to get the goal, even score a lot more to progress.
Yeah, this team is very aggressive, doesn't allow you to play. I saw the match they played against Ahly, and it was a similar pattern of game. Also, we need to understand that it's not an excuse at all, but this pitch is absolutely not giving us any kind of advantage to play. The ball jumps a lot, we slippery. But yeah, another game, I believe the team will be strong, and we'll be strong to fight for the second game.
Well, let's get a proper understanding. Thank you so much, Coach Cardoso, as well as Mazola. The first leg of the CAF Champions League, all wrapped up. Mamelodi Sundowns 1, Pyramids of Egypt 1 is how it stands at the moment. So let's get a clear understanding here. What does a 1-1 mean going to Cairo for Mamelodi Sundowns and for Pyramids, as far as advantage is concerned and lack thereof? There's goals to consider, there's victories to consider. What does this mean now?
At this moment, as it stands, Pyramids is in the advantage because they scored away. And that means...
So the away goal rule still alive in this competition. Yeah.
That means Sundowns has to go there and score 2-0. Even win 1-0 for that matter, then they stand a chance of lifting that beautiful trophy that you saw yesterday.
Basically, Sundowns has to score and win with a +1. Any win for Sundowns, really. Then. So be it 2-1, 3-1, any win for Sundowns.
And they lift the trophy, yeah.
A draw?
Or draw of 0-0. If it's 0-0, our Pyramids win the tournament.
Sorry?
Yeah, if it's 0-0, Pyramids.
But
if it's 1-1, then we go to extra time, if not penalties. Yeah. So, but Sundowns have to score and maybe 1 or 2 or 1-0. But having said that, also Pyramids, they need to be wary, because if Sundowns score 1 away, then I say Valigate.
Yeah,
Sundowns is gone. So I wouldn't say only Sundowns that is like in the brink of being careful. Even Pyramids, they need to be extra careful.
Yeah,
they have to.
You know, and I hear you, though. You're saying Sundowns, if they score, they're gone. But I'm looking at the 45 minutes, which is half the 90, of course, that we've just had.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, does the Sundowns that we've just seen now in this tournament right now, forget the Sundowns that has scored in the last 6 matches, the most amount of goals you've seen in the end season in the Betway Premiership. They've averaged 3 goals. Yet Ribeiro, almost wake up and start scoring goals all over again. Is chasing him. The Sundowns that we've just seen today, did they look capable of scoring 2-3 goals?
For sure, without a doubt. We spoke with Doki off air that you see when Sundowns plays away, they look like a different team, and they can draw motivation from this performance that they gave to manage even to score a goal. I was happy that they managed to even play like a Champions League team, where they even bypass what they normally do with the build-up, bypass the midfielder, go straight to Iki. That was a Champions League match, and I was happy to see that today because it even ended as a goal.
Right, Dougie, I want to show you the goal that you're talking about, so you can take us through it. But firstly, let's take a quick break. If you're just joining us, well, it is the end of the first leg of the Total Energies CAF Champions League. It's ended 1-1. A goal scorer for Mamelodi Sundowns, the jersey number 10. They're calling him King at the moment, King Ribeiro. And on the other side, Piston Mayana. He was a handful in the first half, but he couldn't deliver. He gets taken out, and that's Dr. Kubano's brag to say, I told you he would be removed. But the man that they kept on, Al-Kati, scores his second goal to make it 1-1. When we come back, we'll review those goals and take a look at those close moments. He didn't miss a single beat of this here match. It's ended 1-1. Both goals we've got in the highest form caliber, and we'll be showing you those two goals. But firstly, I want to just go take a look at the stats for this match, right? Because we saw them at the end of the first half, and we saw that as far as going forward is concerned, although there was a lot more from Pyramids. Ball position, it's increased a little bit in Sundowns' favor. But what you're saying, and Klopper was agreeing with, is that this position was negative position because you're trying to defend with the ball. You should have tried to defend with the ball rather.
You're right, because when you are a Mamelodi Sundowns, you are known to have the ball, position of the ball all the time. So make sure that you maximize anything, especially when you've got a one lead, slender lead that is not sure. You're not sure that it's going to end in a 1-0 because you see the opposition. They give you that threat in the last line. Make sure that you defend very well with the ball. Try to make sure that the triangles in the midfielder are closer to one another. And I thought Allende and Adams in the midfield, together with Mukwena, are supposed to be closer to one another. At some point, bring that in the experience of the Champions League to say, when they like this, if they were leading, they were going to kill the moment, or breaking those fluidity of the match, those combination, they will break it down and making sure that you're now playing on their rhythm.
Dougie, when I see this, I see 11 shots, I see 4 on target, more than Mamelodi Sundowns in both occasions. I say Pyramids came to play and they played. They took Sundowns on head to head. They allowed you to have the ball because you said, you're not hurting us, but when we move forward, a little bit more swifter, and we're going to do that.
Positive play, positive attacking team, and they were positive minded in terms of going into the final third of Sundowns. That was the only thing that they could do, because if you look at how they created those chances and everything, it was not from a build-up attack or any combinational play. It was always through the middle, because if we by 8 inside the box, I want by 3. Definitely. I mean, look at the player that we're highlighting. Now, this is what Pyramid is doing. Let them have it there. Now, look at the pass that has set 1, 2, 3, 6 of the players, the Pyramid. But the recovery of the 4 before the goal is scored, it's unbelievable. Actually, it's 5 because they 9 at 10 with the keeper.
But that speaks to the slow build-up of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Of course. Now, this is exactly what Pyramids were expecting Sundowns to be doing. Hence, that's why they were going.
Don't give right. They managed to make sure that they have the angles right. With that pass from Jaden, managed to dissect those 6 players and to bring Ribeiro into play, because when you're playing up over the pressing line, you're gaining advantage. So for them to chase facing their own goal, that was beautiful. And there's a pass where normally you say the best passers of the ball, you must get them to the ball as quick as possible. Jaden Adams is one of the best passers in the Mamelodi Sundowns team. When it's composed like that, he can pick that pass. And you want your attackers in Ribeiro to be on the move all the time. When he receives it on the half 10. He's facing where he wants to go, which is going forward. This is the run that 1-2 with Mudau. Look at this triangle between them. This is the triangle that dissected there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he's like, you give and you go. One striker came and peeled it to one center back. He brought him deeper. When with that run from Mundau, he broke that line of pyramids at the back. And now we've got 45 with the best player in South Africa by far, because look at where he is. Still, there is traffic in that box, but he managed to put it down and say, I'm gonna
So him do it against Magesi. If there's a crowded box, he knows how to put it above the heads, and he knows how to score those, and he did exactly that. Did some Mamelodi Sundowns' jersey number 10 there. But in the 93rd minute, hearts would be broken because Abdel Monem would put in a ball in the box that Sundowns couldn't deal with. There was sliding, there was bodies everywhere. They couldn't deal with it. Walid Al-Karti then scores his second goal, the Moroccan 30-year-old of the Champions League, which gave them some sort of relief leaving South Africa.
You defend, I mean, that moment that Doki is speaking about, that this movement they track it. This is the start of the ball. They establish the play, and look at this run. Yeah. Late into the box, that's how you do. And this is the pass that they managed to do. Big angle, look at that run, the Doki. This is the way he's breaking that line that we're talking about. You're going through the gate, you unsettle the two centre backs. Because they don't like to play somebody playing off their shoulder. Yes. Look at Kekana, look at Lebusa where they are. They're worried about that run. That's why Mokoena managed to go all the way to the corner flag. Now, you don't have a D-line. Exactly. But now, with the D-line, we're taking everybody wider. Look at it in the box. There's strikers that are between the centre back. And we all say, when the ball is wide, Tapelo knows should come deeper inside to be the second defender. Yes. Now, he's opening that gap in the midfielder. I mean, in between him and Munibusa. That's why they got the goal.
Yeah. So again, I mean, you look at the last player, the goal scorer is between two defenders, the Sundowns. Yeah. But there's this last player, Ngon Gutuban. He's picking wrong. Yeah. So he's supposed to be inside instead of being outside because they utilize that space. Yeah. So when the ball, by missing a slight tackling from Mokoena, it bounces. That player gained advantage of him, but he was supposed to come and close that space for Uchi. This player, when he challenges the ball, then he can. Now, this is the player I'm talking about here. Yeah. Can you see? He's going back. Now, look at the goal scorer. Abdel Monem. Watch. Look at the goal scorer there. Can you see? There. Now remember the winner. It's the same thing. The same thing. And there we go again. Yeah. Look at before that ball.
Yeah. Got to press the cross of the ball here.
Look at Mudiba. We're going to play more outside the right winger here. Yeah. He's worried about him. But the danger is that he's not in a goal scoring position. Yeah. The player that is advancing in the D. Now he's pouncing in. Mudiba is supposed to be there and picking. Because the player that is now on the picture, he doesn't have a goal scoring chance. Now look at that. Yeah. You see, he's only reacting after.
Yeah. And the other thing, Doki, to add on that, sorry to cut you, is that even if they play the ball into the box, if you mark your striker, the striker will receive in front of you. Yeah. So if you want to deal with the ball only, what if the crosser is that good, that delivery? Exactly. Then you're losing the striker, you don't know where the striker is. So I think those are the moments.
It's beautiful football, it's African football, it's the best football there is in the world, it's the CAF Total Energies Champions League, and we just simply love it. Guys, very quick now. This is the first leg, this is half-time done. We got the second to go. What do Sundowns do differently? Are you confident from what you've just seen now? Are we coming back home to South Africa with a shiny, brand new evolved trophy?
The game is a teacher, and I would like to believe that the coach, in his interview after the game, has pointed out the mistakes, and they're going to fix them. And if Pyramids, if you Pirates are 3-2 away, Pirates being away, and they're at home, I would like to believe with the Sundowns can bring it back home.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dogi. This is the Sundowns trophy, without a doubt. If they give the Pyramids team the first performance that they gave with the first 15 minutes, in the first 15 minutes of the second half, this trophy is theirs.
30 June 8 depends. That's the stadium. That's the stadium where it's going to be played. It's called 30 June. Come on, stadium.
30 June.
Now, tomorrow, Simba versus Bekan. And of course, Sales with Sabota Banus. Also, that game with Simba, with Simba. Fatu Davis, who is the coach there. It's the final second leg. Yes, to come back from that. Hollywood Bet Super League, TUT Matazanza, and Mamelodi Sundowns.